Hello there, lovely people. This is me, Ashley, here, sending my love to you from whatever reality I'm in today, to whatever reality you happen to find yourself in. Well, this video today I'm going to be discussing two completely opposing histories, and that is the opposing histories of the princes in the tower. Now, in the reality that I come from, the princes in the tower were never found. King Richard III, in his claim to the throne, he had his nephews locked in the Tower of London, and they disappeared, and in my reality they were never seen again, and nobody really knew what had happened to them. People believe that he murdered, or he had them murdered so that he could have the claim to the throne, but there was no proof of it because we never found the princes. The bodies were never found. However, I have covered this before, but it's still, I covered this about 8 months ago, I think, and it's still, now, on Google, we're getting two completely separate histories, because the completely opposing history to the fact that the children were never found is that they were found on the return of King Charles II, because obviously King Charles I was the king that was beheaded, and when Oliver Cromwell died, King Charles II was asked to come back and be king, and during his reign, there were two bodies of two children found, believed to be the princes, and they're buried in Westminster Abbey. Now, that's two completely opposing histories on Google. They found them and they're buried, and they've never found them, and we don't know where they are. So, and look, don't get me wrong, I understand that I don't believe everything Google says, I'm not saying that, but surely it should be the one history. That's what I am saying. It should be the one history, and quite frankly, the history that I come from. They were never found. That's the history it should be. But here we are on Google having two completely opposing histories at the same time. It's not like one popped up and went away again. They're both there at the same time. So if you yourself go and Google the princes in the tower, you'll see two completely different opposing views. Another thing is that the woman who was, I'm sure quite a lot of you know, but not all of you will, when Richard III was found, it was down to one woman and her intuition, and they found the body of the king buried under a car park. Right, so that very same woman in this other history is she has now put her efforts into trying to find the princes, and that's the history that I come from. But also at the same time, there's this history that there they are in Westminster Abbey. Now, I live many miles away from London, and if it was normal situation here, I'd be asking my friends who live in London to please pop into Westminster Abbey and let me know whether the princes are actually there or not. But we're on this sodding lockdown thing again, aren't we? So I can't even find out that way, like on the ground. Are they in this reality? Are they there? Do you know, this is what I want to do, but this bloody lockdown stopped all of that shit, hasn't it? So hopefully in December, when we come out of lockdown, allegedly, I'm going to ask any of you guys that are in London, Mark, lovely Mark, System Failure, if you can do that, that would be great. Because I want to know, you know, if they're there or not in your reality, because we know we don't live in the same reality at the same time, even though we're in the same country, allegedly. So, yeah, people, that's the differing histories at the same time of one event. So I want to know, have you noticed any abnormalities where you've got two opposing situations being on Google at the same time? As in, like, surely Google should be giving us one bit of information, not completely opposing sides of information. So I want to know, have you come across anything like that yourself? Because I'm finding it really quite bloody annoying, to be fair. I've had enough of it. It's just, how can you have two completely opposing histories as a fact? We've never found them, and we found them and they're buried. Which is it? Which is it? So those idiots that go on about the Mandela Effect not being real, it's this kind of thing that shows that the Mandela Effect very much is real. Very much is real, because there shouldn't be two opposing histories of the one event. So I just wondered what you guys thought of that, and whether you've had anything like that happen yourselves. And I'm going to bring this very short video to a close. And thank you all very much, as always, for your love, your support, your kindness, your sharing your emotions, your experiences, your thoughts, your feelings, your theories with me. You know, it makes me know that I'm not on my own, and that we are connected, even though we're not in the same reality at the same time, or indeed anywhere near each other. So, till the next time, my love to you all as always.